A lot of people don't know, on 8 Mile, you see Mekhi Phifer with the long dreads.
Yeah.
People don't know Proof had long dreads way back then.
Proof, yeah.
He was Proof in
I
the movie.
never knew that.
A lot of people don't know that.
I never knew that.
And they close. Oh my God.
Start it right there.
Check my vocals because you know what I'm about.
So it's April 11th, 2006, and Proof, the Detroit rapper and Eminem's best friend and founding member of D12, was at the CCC Nightclub on 8 Mile Road having a good time. But that night took a terrible turn. Proof's life came to an end when he was only 32 years old.
Somewhere, somehow, this has got to stop. I mean, you got good people dying. You got good kids dying. Why? For what?
Now, Proof was not just an artist. He was a mentor, a friend, and a hero to so many young rappers in Detroit. Now, that night began like any other for Proof. Music, friends, and drinks, but everything spiraled out of control very fast. 2 men ended up losing their life, and a lot of questions were left unanswered. Now, this story isn't just about the last few hours of Proof's life. It's also about his choices, the people around him, and the tragedy that shocked Detroit. As we dive into Proof's final hours, we'll trace his steps through Detroit's nightlife, where a fun night turned deadly. How did things go from friendly to fatal? With conflicting witness stories and emotions running high. This is a complex story filled with what-ifs that people still talk about today. So let's take a look, peel back the layers, and try to understand the truth behind Proof's final hours.
Motherfucker, I don't do rock, roll, sex, drugs, rock and roll, but stop the bro, you know what I'm saying? You gotta make the road, get it right going, you know what I mean? It's like this, you gotta say, I hate a tree by tree, still save my city 3 by 3, you know what I'm saying? They don't never stop there, baby. And I ain't even a pimp, P-I-M-P, stand for Proof is my papa, the show stopping no rapper, you see what I'm saying? Trying to drop something proper. Peace.
But y'all got that, you can't rewind that, you gotta rewind that, baby.
Now, one thing everybody says about Proof is that he was not just Eminem's right-hand man. He was not just a member of D12, but a hero for everyone in the city trying to make it in music. When he made it big, Proof did not leave the hood behind. He didn't move to Hollywood or hide in some fancy mansion. He was always in the neighborhood, going to local rap battles, hanging out with friends, and helping with new talent. He made sure everyone had a chance to rise up. And it's safe to say that if there was no Proof, there would be no Eminem, because he was the one who convinced Eminem to show up at freestyle battles and supported him when things were hard. As mentioned earlier, Proof loved Detroit. He loved the people, the local clubs, the gritty scene. But eventually this would be his downfall. Now, the months leading up to April 11th, 2006 were a mix of highs and lows for Proof. He stood as Eminem's best man when Em married Kim again in January that year. Proof was right there, standing strong beside his friend and supporting his loyal partner. Even when people doubted the marriage, Proof was there for Em, who was battling addiction and other struggles. He was more than just a friend, he was Eminem's rock. Fun fact, Eminem's second marriage to Kim lasted for about 4 months. Now, just as Eminem was going through his own issues, Proof had his own troubles too. He dropped his second solo album, Searching for Jerry Garcia, in August of 2005, and the album showed a very deep, introspective side of him.
You didn't give me for I've sinned over and over again.
Hardcore fans of D12 loved the project. It had features by 50 Cent, D12, Obi Trice, and Nate Dogg, amongst others. But despite all the hype and features, Proof did not get the big spotlight he was hoping for. The album debuted at number 65 on the Billboard 200, and to date the album has not even gone gold. Proof wanted to be recognized for his solo work, but at the same time, he loved being Detroit's big brother. Now, April 10th began like any normal night for Proof. He was out with his friends Reginald Mud Moore, Mac, and Chop. Their first stop that night was the Coliseum, a well-known gentleman's club in Detroit. The mood was good, drinks were flowing, and Proof was the life of the party. He was laughing, joking, making sure everyone was having a good time. But even then, Some people noticed something in him, a bit of tension. Maybe it was alcohol. Maybe it was just everything piling up. After the Coliseum, the group's next stop was the Rolex Club. The night was turning into early morning, but the fun did not stop. Proof did not want the night to end, so they decided to go to the CCC Club on 8 Mile Road. It was after midnight, April 11th, but despite the time, the CCC Club had a reputation in the neighborhood. It was loud, rowdy, and exactly the kind of place Proof liked when he wanted to be away from the celebrity world. He was with his people, and he was having fun. So when Proof walks into the CCC Club, it's packed and buzzing, the energy is high, and there's that mix of excitement and tension that hangs in the air when people have been drinking all night. Around 4:30 a.m., things take a turn. Proof finds himself in a confrontation with Keith Bender, a Gulf War veteran who is out celebrating some good news about his health. It all begins over a simple game of pool, but it escalates fast. Words are exchanged, and suddenly the atmosphere gets intense. Proof, who's usually the one keeping things cool, seems different tonight. Maybe it's just too late, maybe it's just the alcohol, but things quickly spiral out of control. For a moment, the whole club seems to freeze. Proof, who was all smiles and jokes earlier, is now caught in a heated argument. Keith Bender, a guy who's faced life or death situations during the Gulf War, isn't backing it down either. Voices get louder, and what begins as a small argument turns into a full-blown fight. Proof knocks Bender down, and just like that, the fun vibe turns dangerous. Now at this point, Proof is standing over Bender, and it's clear this is not going to end peacefully. Now the thing is, Bender's cousin, Mario Etheridge, is also there too, and he's working there as a bouncer. He sees what's happening, and he's not about to let this get any worse. So he steps in and tries to break things up. He fires a warning shot, hoping it'll make everyone back off, but instead of calming things down, it just makes things worse. Proof then pulls out his weapon, and witnesses say he fired at Bender, hitting him twice and unaliving him. It all happens in a matter of seconds. The club, which was once full of laughter and music just moments ago, erupts into chaos. People scatter, ducking for cover, rushing to exits, and Proof goes from being the life of the party to being in the middle of a nightmare. Etheridge, Bender's cousin, does not hesitate either, and he uses his weapon on Proof, unaliving the man. Now at this point, the CCC Club is in full-blown panic. Proof's friends rush to him, trying to help, but the place is chaos. Keith Bender is on the ground too, critically wounded, while Etheridge stands there, weapon still in his hand, trying to make sense of what just happened. Now seeing that Proof is in very critical condition, Proof's friends do not wait for an ambulance. They pick him up and rush him to St. John's Holy Cross Hospital, driving as fast as they can. But it's too late. When they arrive, Proof is pronounced dead.
Rapper Proof is shot and killed in a nightclub in Detroit. His real name is Deshaun Holton. According to police, an argument led to at the CCC Nightclub located in Detroit's 8 Mile Road. Proof died of his gunshot wounds. His fans are reacting to the violence.
The man who had helped so many, who was the heart of D12, is now gone. Now Keith Bender is taken to another hospital, but he doesn't make it either. Unlike Proof, Keith managed to stay alive for about a week and tried to fight his ending, but his injuries are too severe. It's a double tragedy. Now Proof always seemed untouchable. He made it through so much, but in the end, he could not escape the violence he was always trying to rise above. So after the incident, the next day, Mario Etheridge turns himself in. He says he was protecting his cousin and had no choice but to fire the weapon. So after much investigation, the police find out that the stories are conflicting. Some say Proof used his weapon first, others say he didn't. But in the end, 2 men have been unalived, and Detroit lost one of its biggest and brightest stars. Now Etheridge was eventually charged, but not with the unaliving of Proof. He faced charges for carrying a concealed weapon and firing a weapon inside a building. Now, because Etheridge was not charged for the unaliving of Proof, it made a lot of people in Detroit very angry. How could the man who unalived Proof not face murder charges? But legally, Etheridge had a case, he claimed self-defense, and a lack of clear evidence made it hard to prove otherwise. Now the whole community was in mourning. Proof was more than a rapper, he was a hero and a mentor. Naturally, Eminem was devastated. The guy he had grown up with, the guy who helped put him on, the guy that to this day many people say is the only person who made Eminem feel happy. That guy was gone, and it affected Eminem's life forever.
Because this great guy told you great things about yourself, and then the whole perspective of your confidence go to another level.
Proof. That's how Proof was to me. Yeah, man, he was a godsend to me because I know that I would not have made it without knowing him, because he gave me he co-signed for me when I went to the shop, when I went to Ebony show, because he co-signed for me everywhere I went, and people respected him. His name meant something because they respected him.
Without Proof, Eminem felt lost, and he stepped away from the public eye, trying to deal with the loss. Now, Proof's funeral was held at the Fellowship Chapel in Detroit, and over 2,600 people came to say goodbye. Friends, family, fans, and fellow musicians. Eminem gave a tearful eulogy. He called Proof his brother and talked about how much Proof meant to him and how none of it would have been possible without him.
He was a magnet. He just lured you in. When you first met him, you just wanted to know more about him. You didn't want to know more about him. You wanted to just, see what he was about.
The grief was heavy, but in honor of a Detroit legend, Proof was buried in a gold casket, a tribute to the man who always gave everything to those around him. The CCC Club was shut down after the shooting. It always had a rough reputation. However, this last event was the final straw, and the business never recovered after that. Now, in the end, the investigation did not bring much clarity. Some people defended Etheridge, saying he did what he had to do. Others thought Proof was blamed unfairly, but in the end, the unaliving of Proof is just a quick reminder of how fast things can go wrong, even for someone like him with credibility and celebrity. Now, when Eminem returned to music, Proof's absence was in every line. In the song You're Never Over From Recovery, M pours out his emotions, expressing just how much he misses his best friend. The lyrics were full of passion, pain, and a way for M to say what he could not in person anymore.
If Proof could see me now, I know he'd be proud. Somewhere in me deep down, there's something in me he found.
There was also another song called Difficult, an unreleased track that spoke directly to Proof and the void he left.
Duty, most of my life has just been me and you there, and I continuously stare at pictures of you.
D12, the group Proof was such an important part of, began to struggle as well. Proof was the heart of D12, the one who kept everyone connected and on track. Without him, it just wasn't the same. They tried to keep on going, but it was very difficult. In fact, D12 went on to put out music without Proof. But if you're D12 and you're putting out a project without Eminem and Proof, the only two members that most people care about, the project is not going to do well. Now, Proof's story is a powerful one. It's about loyalty, talent, and staying true to where you come from. It's also about the struggle to stay close to your roots, even when success comes knocking. Proof decided to stay in Detroit, close to the places and people who shaped him. It was his strength, but it also made him very vulnerable. That night at the CCC Club, he was just Proof, a guy enjoying a night out with his friends. Like Lloyd Banks says, nobody dead knew they would die before they woke. Right? Proof just wanted to have fun, but the streets held danger and he could not escape it. For Eminem, losing Proof was his turning point. It was like losing his foundation. Without him, M struggled, he fell into addiction, and struggled to find a reason to keep going. And I'm sure having Haley around helped him get through this very dark time. Now, in the end, Proof's death is just a rendition of what Boosie said on Vlad TV years ago. In the interview, Boosie said that most rappers die in the city that they came from. According to him, success breeds jealousy and envy. And if you've made your money, and if you've made your millions, according to Boosie, you should get the hell out of the hood. But this interview came out after Proof died, so it's unfortunate that he was not alive to receive the information from Boosie. In the end, Proof stayed loyal to his people, and he left a legacy that's bigger than any hit song or album.
See that, Busy? Guys are great. Thank you for the interview. It's cool. Thank you. I'm just trying to get you some footage here. He gave you a lot of footage right there, man. All right. I need a signature. It ain't shit underground, ain't shit going down. How you doing, everyone? I am the mayor of Detroit. Well, I'm the mayor of hip-hop Detroit. I would like for everyone to vote for me.
That's it for me. It's your boy Ali. Know anything further about the final hours of Proof? Let me know down below. Also add me on Instagram at Ali Talks Music. Till next time, peace.